Hey, good morning. Welcome to Win the Day podcast. I hope yesterday was awesome. Hope tomorrow's even better. And I hope today is a win for you. And that's what we're going to talk about. Juneteenth. Is it happy Juneteenth? I'm not quite up to speed with this. Have a great Juneteenth, if however you say it. Is it happy Memorial Day? Is that weird too? How does that work? Is Memorial Day supposed to be happy? I don't know. Weird.
Never thought about that.
If you're off.
What's that?
If you're off. Of
Yeah,
work.
if you're off, I guess. So I don't know. Juneteenth, happy Juneteenth. I don't know. I guess Happy New Year's works for me.
My neighborhood's off, so I'm sure they're good.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. Happy Halloween. Happy Juneteenth. Not what I was thinking about until just now. So anyway, so let's talk about what we're talking about here, real estate wise. So I see it because I'm on a lot of social media. I got a team. I got myself. We're doing rentals. The market's hard right now. And I see interesting conversations about, you have the one dynamic. Don't talk about how hard it is. It's your own mindset, and the market is what matters, or what the market doesn't matter. It's you. Okay. Whatever. And then on the other side is, it's hard right now. I'll never forget this guy. I just forgot his name. David Williams. I'll never forget this guy. And then boom, I forget him. No, his name was David Williams. And he was a realtor. He was in my upline. He was the guy that I signed as my KW sponsor. And he told me, nobody's listing right now, so I'm not even taking it, or nobody's buying anything, so I'm not even getting any listings. I tell that story all the time because it's just seared into my head, which is the wrong attitude. Both those are the wrong attitude. Here's the right attitude, at least in my perspective. And it's this: the market is hard right now. Fine, recognize it. It's hard. So if you're feeling like it's hard, it's because it's hard. And that's good. Markets are easy, markets are hard, and they're everything in between. I have found, though, that they're generally either really hard because nobody's doing anything, or they're really hard because everybody's doing something. Would you agree with that, Jeff? There's very little moments where there's balance, right? It's like listings are really easy to get because everybody wants to sell, and then being a buyer's agent is really easy. I guess, when is it ever easy to be a buyer's agent? I don't know, maybe not. But you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
It seems like it's just, what's that?
When the buyers want to buy and the sellers want to sell, it's easier. When it gets a little tense like this, I'm sure Destiny will share her little story.
I remember Steve Powers, one of my great coaches, told me that the real estate gods are always making it easy, or even, not easy, even. When listings are hard, buyers are easy. When buyers are hard, listings are easy, but they're never together.
Yeah.
It's just,
you can look at this situation two different ways, positive or negative. So your positive situation is it's hard for everyone.
Yeah, for sure.
And the people who aren't committed in the next 3 or 4 months are going to go look for a job and get out of this.
Yep.
Which is then going to make it competitively easier for the people that are still in it and have gotten better.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The big takeaway is it's hard. Fine. It's hard. Recognize it's hard. Good. Whatever. But from a mindset, this is when your mindset has to be really strong.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can tell you with absolute certainty, it's not always going to be hard. The market's going to change. And I also know this for absolutely certain. It is slow as molasses until it's jet fast. Mm-hmm. It's going to be slow, and then boom, it's going to turn. You're not even going to see it. It's going to turn so fast. And you're going to be knee deep in buyers and sellers doing deals. And that sounds like a really good thing, unless you're not ready to be knee deep in buyers and sellers. And it's a whole new set of nightmares. So my point is, it's hard right now. It's slow right now. You better get really good with your mindset that it's going to be good at some point, or it's going to turn, and make sure you're really, really good at being a realtor, at doing real estate sales, right? And that'll help you with right now business. And it'll help you when the business turns. So do not get lazy and soft because there's not any business. Get hard and harder because there isn't any business. Up your skills, every skill set, every single one of the skill sets, you got to get better.
Yeah. Right now, not only do you have to manage your own emotions, you have to manage your clients' emotions
Oh
too.
my goodness, yes.
The buyers, the sellers, the lenders, the vendors, the everyone. There's no doubt.
The other agents.
Other agents, everyone. Yep. And there's just not enough deals right now, so everybody's feeling the pressure. But you got to up your skills. And I'm going to tell you right now, the number one skill you got to up is the amount of people you talk to.
Yeah.
Pure and simple. And you're going to say, oh, I'm talking to a ton of people. Well, great. You better talk to 2 tons of people then. Pure and simple. If you could do one thing, if you only had one thing you could do, I would talk to more people. But John, I'm talking to 20 every single day. Awesome. You might want to talk to 40 then. It's the way it is. I'm talking to 40 every day. Awesome. You're going to want to talk to 80 then. Because whatever you think is enough, double it. That's what we're in. Double it. So if you're going to do one thing, get your mindset. The market's going to turn. There's no doubt it will turn. I don't know when it's going to turn, but I know it's going to turn, and it's going to turn fast. In the meantime, it's going to seem like it's never going to turn. So get hard and start talking to people. Okay. Now, the next thing you're going to say is, well, what am I going to talk to them about? Fair enough. Here's what you're going to talk to them about. They're going to want to know, what is the prices? Are they up, down, or flat? Everybody wants to know. Are the prices up, down, or flat? Then they're going to want to know, is the inventory up, down, or flat? How long is it going to take to sell? Days on market, up, down, or flat, right? Just on those 3 stats alone. That's what people want to know. That's what you should be talking about. But here's what is vital. Destiny, here's what's vital. Anybody can get any of that information almost anywhere these days.
Right.
What they cannot get is analysis. What the hell does the trend mean? Why is it trending the way it is? And how does that impact me is what they want to know. So you have an opportunity to become an authority to your audience, and your audience is your database. So I would think of your database as your audience, your people, the people you're talking to, right? Here's what's going on in the market, and here's why it matters. So you may want to write down what is going on in the market and why does it matter, and answer that question once a week, right? The market's going up. Here's why, right? Number of transactions are increasing. Here's why. So if you're planning on selling, you may want to consider this. If you're planning on buying, you should consider this. Right? And if you start talking about that, the days on market, why are they increasing? Okay. You're going to have to do some analysis and take a stand. Here's why they're increasing, because prices are high. Sellers don't have to sell. And so they're the ones that are putting it on the market are putting on at high prices to see, can I get that high number? Right. And if they don't get it, they're not going to sell. Therefore, the days on market stretch, and they don't care. They don't care. So they leave the prices up, and they're not coming off their price in general, right? Because they don't care. They're willing to bet that the market's going to turn and prices are going to go up before they have to sell for whatever reason. The ones that have to sell will price at a price that'll make them sell. But that number is about that big right now. And why is that number big or small? Because what did I look the other day? 25% of people who have mortgages have 3% or less. That's a big number.
Wow. And
not only that, 40% of people who own homes have 0 mortgage. Right? That means 60% of the people that have homes have a mortgage. Of that 60, 25 of them, almost half, have 3% or less. That's a lot of folks with very little motivation to sell.
Right.
That's why the market looks like it looks like. So, Destiny, if you can have that conversation, like we're having that conversation now, people start to say, holy shit, this chick seems to know what she's talking about.
Right.
And then when I do decide I want to sell, yeah, I'm going to give her a shot. They're not going to tell you that, but they're going to be thinking that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I
and
agree.
when you start doing that on a regular, once a week, having that conversation, social media, phone calls, emails, seminars. I don't know. However you're going to get the information out. You're going to establish yourself to your audience as the authority. And I'll guarantee you this, given the choice of who to work with, folks are going to want to work with somebody they believe knows what the hell they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
They'll even pay more, especially when there's uncertainty in the market. And they'll do that until there's not uncertainty, until anybody can put a sign in their yard and sell. Then I don't care. I'll hire a kid fresh out of school, doesn't know anything. Right?
Right.
Guess what market we're going to hit before we hit that? We're going to go from not knowing anything to uncertainty where they want your help. And then by the time it gets so easy, you're going to be sitting on easy street where it doesn't matter. You let everybody else fight for those crazy things. Does that sound about the right path, Jeff, from your experience?
We'll head down this whole road. People will leave the business. And then once it's the commissions start back up, everybody that's left have the opportunity to make more money than they've ever made in their life.
It's weird. I'll give you another example. 20 years ago, 22, 3, some number of years ago, I wanted to get LASIK surgery, right? One, I couldn't afford it, but two, I didn't want anything operating on my eyes. I didn't want it that bad. And I remember this guy saying, you know what, I'm going to get it when I can go to the mall and get it, right? When it's so easy and they're so advanced, I can just go to the mall and get surgery on my eyes. I think we're almost at that point with that. So I waited, and sure enough, I went in there, zip, zip. I was out in 2 minutes, and I could see. It was amazing. It was amazing. And I think it's the same thing with financial stuff. In housing, sales, buying is financial. People will use a cheap realtor when they know their likelihood of success is pretty high. Mm-hmm. But when they don't know if they can get it done, they'll pay. They'll pay for somebody they believe that can do it. So you got to, if it's me, and it is me, and I'm doing it right now, as you see in my social media, I'm putting stuff out there left and right to establish myself as somebody who knows what the hell's going on. Mm-hmm. Such that when this thing does shake loose and people think, should we, is now the right time? Well, why don't you go ask that guy who's on here every darn week? Be that gal, Destiny. If y'all are watching, is anybody watching this?
Mark said, Jim Rohn said, don't wish it was easier, wish you were better.
Right.
I think that's the beauty in getting in, like at the time that I did. I had no idea what the market was when I got my license and got into it. But, I'm building that strength and that momentum now. So that way, when we do get that shift, I can just hit the pavement running, and I'm excited for that. But
be in front of it. It's going to be a wave
right now, Good.
Yeah, I like what you're doing. If I was to advise you, and I have no problem giving free advice, I would tell you, start talking about how, when, why, where, what for buying and selling, right? Mm-hmm. Create a library where people can binge to learn how much you know about real estate.
Right.
And let that library do your lifting, your heavy lifting.
Well, and what I'm learning is how the market can shift somewhat even during a deal. And that's what I'm dealing with now. We comped this house just right, and something's shifting, and appraisers are coming in saying, oh no. So it's having to now educate my seller on, hey, things are changing. We're going to have to make some adjustments.
Good. Love it. You got anything on that, Jeff?
It's what happens. This is managing the transaction, knowing what your contract says and what your client's options are because of the contract is so important now. And you might even consult with your clients before. These are the things that could go wrong, Mr. or Mrs. Seller. Right. The appraisal may not come in. If that happens, here's what the contract says. So, and then when it happens, you say, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, remember I told you this could happen? Well, it did. And here we are, and these are our options, kind of thing. And then it's not a panic. Then it's not, I'm out. That's what, I'm frustrated and confused, so I'm going to pull the listing, right?
Right.
You don't want.
So I'll give you another best practices property goes under contract. We love that. I would hire a transaction coordinator, somebody somehow, so you're not the one. Does a couple things, creates a good cop, bad cop, if something goes sideways, gives you some space. But more importantly, as a salesperson, you got to be working on your next sale all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And your current sale is looking out, driving down the road, looking out the window on your sides. That's your current sale. If you're paying attention, that might even be looking out the rearview mirror as you're going forward. That stuff's already passed. You got to be looking ahead, or else you're gonna crash your vehicle. Too many people get stuck on this. They get a listing and they spend all their time on that one listing instead of the process of getting more listings and selling.
Right.
Then they get it pending. They spend all their time on the one pending, and then it finally lists and sells, and they look around. They have no other activities going, and it starts all over again. It's such a peak and trough. I don't know how they do it, but that's what they do. We've seen that for years, right, Jeff? Is that typical?
Yep. Every cycle.
Yep. The people who sell a lot of real estate, a lot of anything, are always the next deal, the next deal.
On our team, that's what James and Mark say. Hey, where's your next 3 you coming from? You got under contract. That's good. Where's your next 3? So we always have that lined up.
Yeah. Make sure. So anybody who ever watches this and you're a single agent or whatever, I love that you got a listing. I love that you're pending. Great. But where's the next one?
Right.
Right. Because this one's going to fall out or it's going to close. Either way, you need another one coming. So focus on the other one. How do I do that if I'm all by myself? Don't be all by yourself. There's enough subs out there now where you don't have to be by yourself. Back in the day, there wasn't any transaction coordinators. Now they're everywhere. You can pay on a per deal basis if you want. Do it. Oh, but I need the money. Well, if you need the money, the next deal is where the money's at. It's not in this deal.
Right.
So there you go. All right, that's what I got today. What do you guys got? Throw some genius out there.
Work hard, stay with it, get better, build your database. And on the other side of this rainbow is going to be the best times that you make your career.
If you're ready for it. Otherwise, you're going to get washed over.
Yeah.
I think I'll say what you do now comes out in 90 days. That's what we're always taught with our team. And so if you want a paycheck, what are you doing today to get that paycheck 90 days from now? You're not getting paid. So work hard now.
Yep. And then I'll just wrap it up. It sounds like I'm a little negative on this, and I'm not. I am pragmatic. I see this market as being very difficult, which is fine. Let it be difficult. It's an opportunity to hone your skills, and I would hone every single skill, but I would start with talking to more people. And then once I got that talking to more people down, I would have better conversations, understanding your scripts better. So you have better conversations that will lead to better results to your more people. And then at the same time, work on your mindset. This market's going to seem horrible until it's not. And it's so slow until it's, oh my word, when did that happen? And we're going to find ourselves in that thing. So I'm incredibly optimistic. I'm so excited about the next up. All the stuff I'm going to buy, I'm eyeballing it already. What am I going to buy? I'm looking right now, right? I'll take 2 of those, give me a couple of those. And where's my money going to come from? We'll talk about that in the future, some future conversations. Today, though, talk to people. If you think 20 is enough, good. Talk to 40. Make 20 easy. All right? There you go. Let's go to work. Let's win the day.
Bye, guys.
All right, guys. Thank you. Bye.